Okay, I've had time to go back and literally, whoa, look at my hair. There we go. Literally go back and rewatch the entire 4 hours of Paul versus Tyson on Netflix. I have so many new thoughts and opinions after I've simmered down and spouted all my stuff minutes after. And here we go. I have a lot. I have 3 pages of notes here. So this is going to be Deku's official analysis or official thoughts, so on, and discussion about what's going on here. I just want to start off by saying this shit was rigged. This shit absolutely was rigged. Not because Tyson lost, but purely because of the fact that Jake won, right? Just because Jake won, that's why it felt rigged. And I have so many thoughts. I've seen so many thoughts from other creators, um, and that really, really lend this idea home for me. And let's just get started. Honestly, this shit felt like a Trump rally. Like, literally, the amount of people, might have been because it was in Texas, but the amount of people I saw um, standing for the national anthem before the title card, which usually doesn't happen. It usually in sporting events it happens at the beginning before any of it happens. But here we go. Number one American pretty boy that lives in Puerto Rico, right? Like the petite bourgeoisie guy that he is, out here, you know, promoting Prime as he's on his way out, like he's a walking fucking advertisement, has the national anthem play before he comes out. And before we actually get into the get into it, the entire thing just felt wrong because here's a Puerto Rican woman. And after all the shit that happened with Puerto Rico and all the shit that was said about it, um, and it almost seems like it was happening spur of the moment, despite the fact it was planned beforehand to beforehand. it just um it just felt wrong to see this Puerto Rican woman lose, despite the fact that she got a hundred punches more in than Taylor did. Serena got 100 more punches in than Taylor and was fighting tooth and nail harder than Taylor. And Taylor did not fight nearly as hard. She was getting fucking battered. She was getting bruised. She was getting swollen. She was like, one of her eyes was shut. And here's Taylor over here, eyes wide, cut above her head, fucking pummeling the shit out of this girl. Like, oh my god. On all accounts, everything about this felt like a humiliation ritual besides the title defending for the two guys, right? The two Mexican guys, one who was paying homage to his Aztec heritage. But like I'm not saying it's a humiliation ritual in the grand conspiracy way, right? I say in the way that it just felt like that in a meta way, right? In a meta standpoint. Tyson comes out here and it's like he's being towed off, right? He's being beaten by a guy who's 30 years younger than him, over 31 years younger than him. And it's one of those things where it's like symbolically, this guy that has a record of doing some pretty bad things being beaten by a white guy, and being towed off into the sunset, being put down by a superior fighter that will take his place. And I know that that's probably not what was going on, but god damn, did it feel that way, dude. It absolutely felt that way. It felt dehumanizing, like genuinely. After all the training that happened, and then for Mike to come out and do nothing, it felt like it was a setup, and god damn, it was a setup. Just for Paul's ego. Genuinely. Paul fucking lives in Puerto Rico, dude. This felt like some stage shit for politics on Paul's part. Not saying it was funded as a rallying point or anything, but it sure as fucking felt like it, right? These two white boys and the fighter himself seemingly not having any self-respect, and then his mom Jake and Logan's um mom to literally say to her son to kill Mike Tyson for slapping him. What a load of fucking privileged white bullshit, dude. Genuinely. Genuinely, dude. What the fuck? What the fuck? Guy lives in Puerto Rico for tax reasons. Has his team in the corner saying, make America healthy again. Oh my fucking god. Wow. Wow. Holy shit. Like the whole shit with then like the ending fight where he's like, I love America. I say it to the firefighters, the police, the first responders, all like all this other shit, right? Essentially saying MAGA without saying MAGA, saying that that America's going into a better future now. We're changing tides. It's going to be amazing again. We're going into a new era. Like, oh my fucking god. And then Tyson here, a guy who has Mao Zedong on his arm, Che Guevara on his abdomen, sitting there listening to like. Speaking of which, Tyson came out here a few years ago, saying that if he were to ever come back, he would fight with the spirit of Mao. Masterful gambit. Masterful gambit. Where was that spirit at? Where chewing on your glove the entire time? Something that you didn't do that much, or nearly as much as you did in the Roy Jones Jr. fight. Masterful gambit, sir. Masterful gambit. Like, genuinely, I know that Tyson isn't really about that life whenever it comes to those two symbols on him, but he certainly does believe in them as liberators and so on, and them as warriors, and he didn't bring that energy at all. Let's move on to the second point here. Like, I love Mike as a combat sports fan, but god damn, did this shit feel cheap as fuck. It felt like nothing. Paul is not a pro boxer. He can say he is, and KSI can spew bullshit saying, oh, we train so hard. Motherfucker, I train harder than you, and I don't even go to the gym as often as I did in the summer, right? I train harder than both of you two motherfuckers combined, right? Like, the energy that I put into the gym is more than these two guys do, right? Because guess what Paul does? He has these fucking groupies next to him as he's doing lateral raises, right? And then, like, cameras around and taking pictures as he's you know, like, lifting, 14-pound, 15-pound lateral raises, guys. Gotta get that. Ooh, look how impressive this is. Right? KSI... he's in the thick of it, guys. He's in the thick of training, right, to the ring, and he's, like, he looks fine, like, physique-wise, right? He's he's endomorphic, maybe a little bit, mesomorphic, but, like, it doesn't look like he has any strength in those arms, right? It's mostly just muscle, but not a lot of power, very lithe, he certainly looks like he can hit hard, but, like, any guy looks like he can hit hard. My grandpa, whenever he was 60, looked like he could hit hard. And fucking boy howdy, did he fucking hit hard. But not nearly as hard as he could whenever he was actively training or in the military. For the short time that he was. That's a whole different story. But yeah, like, Paul officially, as a pro boxer versus pro fighters, is 0 for fucking 1. 0 for 1 and 11 to 1 with retired and essentially washed fighters who just got good paydays to fuel this white boy's ego. Right? If you take away all the window dressing, all the athletes, all the retirees, and only put Paul against the active pro boxers he has gone to, which is Tommy Fury, he is 0 for 1. 0 for 1. And had lost badly to Fury. Paul rung his bell good once And if you watch that moment, it was on Fury's part for seemingly getting too cocky while Paul was enraged trying to throw as much shit at him as possible. Right? Paul is a gimmick. He is a fucking heel, just like his brother is in the WWE, right? He fights old retirees who were something but no longer are. No amount of what you call them and hyping them up will change the fact that they not only has Tyson and Tyson's Kate not fought in over 20 years, but most of them are way out of their prime, right? They are old retirees. Their legacy is over. Their careers are over, right? No amount of people hyping them up. No amount of Jake saying these guys are legends and I'm going to be in the ring and it's an honor to fight with them, and then fucking paying them out to lose to him. Yeah, what honor, huh? What honor? Guys, next I'm going to dig up Muhammad Ali Jr. Or Muhammad Ali, and then fight Junior too. But Paul failed to put said man down in 8 rounds. How good of a boxer are you? If said retired guy, who is still a boxing legend, mind you, who has trained forever and is still actively taking the knee to go up against you and lose against you, and you don't put him down once in 8 rounds. How good of a boxer are you? How good are you if you fail to put him down? That is fucking wild. And I know that I said in the very beginning that it felt like it was being Tyson was being towed off. But again, it feels like that. But then Paul fails to deliver on that. He says that he's a nuclear weapon. I'm a fucking nuke. I'm gonna kill Tyson in the ring. Oh, tie up. Oh, here I am dancing around the fucking ring like a lunatic. What the fuck? 8 rounds. Dude, 8 rounds and you didn't get in close once, and you let fucking Tyson hit you hard once, and then you go, oh fuck, I gotta stay away from this guy. You are not a boxer, dude. You could get hit by me once hard, straight to the fucking chin, and you would be dancing around me just like you were Tyson, right? And guess what? I would come right at you. I would come right fucking at you and hit you again and again and again. Oh my god, there's no technical win against me. I am 2 inches taller than you and 30 pounds heavier. There is nothing that this on any feasible planet where Paul actually lands a good hit on me if I were to actually get into training like I was many years ago, right? And I still actively box and train as a part of my training regimen. I have not been in a fight in a few good years, but come on, dude, come on. I'm pretty sure most people who are athletes or are active gym rats could say that they could beat Paul easy, right? Easy. Tyson, back to the script. Tyson is a legend, but Paul failing to knock down Tyson even once, failing to get close to him, dancing around him like a fucking bitch, and getting only a technical win, prove he is a gimmick. And this will be nothing but PR on his part for the rest of his so-called career. Is Paul getting better technically? Yes. He's getting a better technical boxer. Yes. But his tech is sloppy. His footwork suck. His combos and strings are nothing but jabs and wide hooks. You never see anything like what you would see, let's say, for instance, Muhammad Ali. One of his best moves was he would hit you with a body shot, and then would immediately follow it up with a hook, with an straight uppercut, right? Or, the rolls that you saw fucking Tyson doing a lot of times in this, or even a lot of times whenever with his peekaboo style of where he would just go crazy, just you never see those active fast punches, fast strings, fast quick jab, hook, bow, right? From Paul at all. You never see that. You only see the rudimentary basics from him. But real quick side note, back to Serrano. That shit was horrendous. Really, Serrano had 100 more hits, which Paul also had. He had a lot more hits, but got the win. Serrano had more hits, but got the lose. Even with the cut eye, she fucking demolished Taylor. Like that fight was intense, but holy hell, like that shit was. That end was a fucking robbery, absolute robbery. All in all, Paul, the entire event, Paul is just like he is a rigger, right? He rigs and is a faker. He's a fraud. He finds these guys that needs paydays and gets as many eyeballs on the fight as possible, then comes out in a fucking car and diamond-studded shit, and God, you know that it's not even a real fight the moment that Tyson comes out, and he has this look in his eye. He goes, right? The sheer reservation in his eyes. I tried to put that the immediate reaction I had to that. If you watch the live stream, I was like, he looks nervous. You know, he's always been nervous before his fights. But God, deep down, I was like, fuck, this fight's over. Yeah, this is it. Yep, this is not gonna be a fight at all. Because like he's nervous, but at the same time, you see in his eyes, it's just let's get this over with. Like he went through all that training to make himself feel good because he knew when game day came, he had to take the fall, right, for the money because of where he was at his life. Like these guys' legacy is already over. They had their official records in stone, and one loss on their, in the case of Tyson, over 100 victorious fights and wins, and nearly as many KOs. In their mind, this one loss for millions is nothing, right? All that shit talk makes sense too because he knew he'd have to take the fall for what is rumored to be nearly 20 million. He was getting all of that emotion out, all that energy he wanted to use against Jake so that whenever he got in the ring, shows his ass cheeks to the camera, say he would go in for a victorious win and slaps the shit out of him in the weigh-in, and gets a few good hits in, he can feel better about losing, right? And at the end of the day, it don't add up, really. Like, I've heard the theory that Tyson only went into this to pay for his knee surgery. And honestly, yeah, makes sense, right? Out of everything, it makes sense. But it just doesn't add up. Everything that makes it seem like it's so-called legitimate just doesn't add up. Bad knee or not. A week prior, Tyson was moving around for a full 3 minutes like he was 30 years old again. Having a fucking nin vow and binding vow to bring out and switch with Iron Mike like he was fucking Sukuna. And here he is in the ring looking his age. Shit just don't add up. And it really does tell me that this entire shit, rigged. All it is, rigged. Like, it was just for the money. That was it. It was just for the show. It was just for for Paul's ego, and that was it, right? I could guarantee that in a few weeks, we're going to see Tyson, or even in a few days, we're going to see Tyson back to training, continuing his training just to feel good. But he's not going to have an opponent, and you're going to see that suddenly he has all that energy back. He has all that fucking 30-year-old prime Mike energy, a little bit slower, a little bit less hard, his balance a little bit off, but he's still delivering punches that make his fucking trainer go, "Argh!" Right? Shit just don't add up. Anyway, you want to support me? I have a Patreon down below. I also have a Cash App. Like, comment, subscribe. Let's start a conversation down below. Yeah, I'll talk to you guys next time. See you guys. Click.